Good morning to everyone. I am Marcos. My name Guarani Yvyrupa. I come from the Boa Vista village, which is in the northern coast of São Paulo, near Ubatuba. And I'm always part of the Atlantic for rainforest. Our community is also facing a strong struggle with the whole of the Guarani in the coast, from Rio Grande do Sul all the way to Espírito Santo, are always fighting against the enterprises or businesses or the governments that come over to our region, where they see the possibility to expand ports. We are also close to the other traditional communities, like the former slave communities, the Quilombola, and the fisherman community, the Caiçara, and talking to them within the same context in relation to the pre-salt oil exploration that's being set up in our region, and it is a very difficult conflict, but we are there. We are fighting with a lot of persistence and resisting a lot so that we are able to be heard, at least, in this issue, in this great debate and discussion. I am more talking towards the Guarani spirituality, how we behave, how we understand the issue of the forest, the environment, and also our lives on a day-to-day, where our elders, the Tiramonho, talk to each other in between the villages, amongst all the communities and other tecuas in all the communities. As my brothers and sisters have already mentioned, our land, the Yvyrupa, it's only one land. There's no division. There are no limitations, there are no borders. But it was created, Nyandaru made the universe when he separated the land from the sea, so that each peoples would be able to live in each continent. And our continent is the South America, for all these people who are living there in this Yvyrupa. If there was war, there was a conflict, but there was an understanding of living within each person's original peoples within our continent. We, the Guarani people, despite all the influence that we've received from the West, when they would live within time and Western calendar, we still live in contact and harmony with nature, where the moon and the phases of the moon are very important in our lives, in our harvests and our raw materials to build our crafts, to build our houses, and also in terms that for everything, whether the forest, whether the river, whether the animals or the stones, all these elements have their protecting spirit or angel, guardian angel. So we shouldn't just go into the forest, get our bow and arrow and go and hunt for fun, but for food. Our life calendar, as I said, the moon influences a lot our lives and our families, and the things that we do. And in the life of the indigenous Guarani woman, they have a specific day where women have to stay in for a few days, which are the days of these women. So the Guaranis have this idea of which is very important, this influence of nature on the everyday life of our people. In our village, the Teramonhas, the elders, don't live by the clock. We live by the day and by the night. The day is for doing what we need to do, and the night is for us to go back into our houses or go and pray or to rest. When I talk about the calendar, we live in 2 cycles. These cycles refer to, in our country, is getting it's getting closer. That means that we have spring and summer coming, and this means that it's a new time, and winter and autumn is old time for us. So we don't have many activities to do in terms of planting during winter and autumn. That's when we withdraw and we reflect and we think the activities that will be programmed for the future in this new time cycle, which is during spring and summer, when we have our rituals, when we have our baptism, the baptism of the seeds and of the names that we give to our children, and our elder and our prayers, they give the names to the children that are born throughout the year. Us, the mothers and fathers, we don't have the autonomy to give a name to a child when the child is born. Only our shaman, man or woman, is able to name our children. And then we have the sun, and I can't really tell you in London where the sun rises from, but in Brazil it's in the east, where the sun goes up in the region of Guarani Yvyrupa, and where the sun goes down is Tupã. And so our names come from the east and the west, both for men and for women. And so, despite the 519 years of being persecuted, we still pray, despite the military, despite the Jesuits, despite the churches, we still talk in our own languages. We believe in our religions and our traditions, and we live this on our day-to-day. The forest for us is very important. It is our life, and we are part of this forest. And the land is like our mother. And for us, this is very important, this connection of life, the cycle of nature. So if I go into the forest to cut a tree, and if I do this without permission of our gods or our elders and our shaman, I'm doing something wrong. And the protector of our nature can put something on me that may do me harm. That's how we live, and we believe, and that's how we believe. And for us, everything that is happening today of attacking nature, where farmers are getting together and mobilizing and saying that we are the invaders of our own lands, of our own territories, we can't understand this or why. Is it for profit? Is it because of the political government that runs around capitalism and profit? For us, land is not to be sold. It is sacred. The water that we need and the water that we have in our terroir, in our lands, is like blood that runs like it runs in our veins, and it runs in the veins of the forest where it goes to the sea. And this brings the cycle of life, of the rain, so that the forest always has its fresh air, its rain, so that it's able to go through this purification cycle. That's how we understand our lives, and that's how we need it.
And we are here this very time with you, asking you to help us. It's a cry for help. We want you to join our struggle so that the Atlantic forest and the biomes in Brazil and the Amazon can be saved. This is a cry for help from us to you. The prayers, the shamans are saying, man is destroying, is killing our mother, our life and our planet. This is why we are here. We are showing you a little bit of how we live and what the situation is. The government and the current policies are persecuting us. They have been killing the forest. And we now, together, need to unite peoples so that we can engage in this cause to defend Brazilian biomes and biomes throughout the planet. They have to be defended under a single banner to defend our life. This is our message. Thank you all very much for being here. We're now going to sing to close the session.
Voltando aqui,
I just wanted to ask Daniel to leave the map here on the screen.
Então, só para
Just to give you a little bit more context about the Atlantic forest, this very precious biome is all this region very close to the Atlantic. In our territory, we say that the ships of the discoverers, so to speak, of Brazil landed here. And we are today in this struggle. We saw the Amazon forest in flames, ablaze, and all the indigenous peoples were desperate, and the world as well, I believe. For us, it was a moment to reflect on what is happening. We have the Guarani peoples who are the guardians of the Atlantic forest.
Os primeiros a ser atacados.
And we were the first to be attacked,
Estamos na resistência, o maior
and
povo,
we
né,
have been resisting for more than 500 years. We are the largest people in South America. When we saw the Amazon forest ablaze, we stopped to think. Although we have been resisting, we were focusing our struggle against this type of development that had been imposed on us. And when we saw the Amazon ablaze, we thought this is a call for us to reforest our hearts, our minds, and reforest our own biomes. We saw that the lungs of the world had been attacked by these fires in Brazil in the last few days. We said it's the lungs of the world that had been attacked. So we are all committed, all of us, to reforest the Atlantic forest and all the biomes in the Cerrado, the Brazilian savanna, in the Midwest, and other places as well, so that we can help Mother Earth stop crying for help. We are now going to chant, and this chant is about our forests. This chant says as follows: God created the universe and our forest for the people to live in, but many don't understand and destroy the fruit of the forest, the fruit that feeds us. And may we, through this chant, get together, become stronger, and join our forces to defend the forest. Thank you.
E aí, então, assim, quero que vocês continuem em pé, que a gente também vai.
Please stand, because we are now going to do another chant, Yamandu Mirim, which who for us is the divinity, the Father Sun. And when we pray every day, and we ask the sun to come and stay with us, to lighten up our minds, warm our hearts. May we invite the sun to come to lighten up our minds and warm up our hearts.
Nhamandumirim, Nhamandumirim, Toé, 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 Tou, Nhamandumirim, Nhamandumirim, Toé, 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 Tou, Nhamandumirim, Nhamandumirim, Toé, 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 Tou, Nhamandumirim, Nhamandumirim, Toé, 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 Tou. Agudjeweta.
Thank you.
Nós fazemos parte da representação
We
do povo
are
Guarani,
part of the representation of the Guarani people.
para a defesa do nosso
We
território.
have organized ourselves to defend our territory, and we have a committee, Guarani Yvyrupa.
Meus companheiros
My colleagues, my brothers, are coordinators of this committee, and this committee represents us throughout the Guarani territory. We have a leaflet here that talks about what we do. We have a site, we have emails, and you can get to know what we have been doing. We also ask your help to allow this committee, this organization to work and to become stronger, to help us fight every day to defend our territory. Okay?